What's up, YouTube? So if you guys watched the last video, you guys will know that we were waiting for the rest of the parts for the foot brake to come in from e-bike garage. So the rest of those parts didn't end up coming in, so today we're going to be doing the install on my limited edition Throne Serpent. We're going to be doing a whole dual caliper Ultra Bee setup. If you guys are interested in knowing on how to install the rest of the kit, just make sure you guys check out that first YouTube video, which covers basically everything except for the foot brake. So today's video is going to be specifically on the foot brake, so let's get right into it. All right, so we got all the parts right here, so let's go ahead and cover all the parts. Right here, we have the secondary Ultra Bee caliper and the brake line that is already connected to the caliper. And then we have both of the pedal brackets, and this one on the right side has the master cylinder attached, as well as the lever and the foot brake already assembled. The assembly on these is extremely easy, so we already pre-assembled this, but it's just one bolt right here, and then one bolt for the tip, and then that's pretty much it. So this is obviously for the left pedal and the kickstand. They gave us a bunch of extra spikes in different colors for the actual foot pedal so we could switch up the design. So this is the design that we actually decided to go with. Got brand new hardware. This is going to be a supporting bar that connects both of the brackets. We got 3 extra little items. One of them being the EBG blue lever. It's still in the box. I don't want to open it yet because we are going to be doing an unboxing and an install video on this lever. A brand new headlight, a brand new front fender. So we're going to be doing a separate install video on these. If you guys are interested in those, make sure you guys check them out on my YouTube channel. Okay, so for the tools, what we're going to be using is our Allen key socket set with our ratchet, and then we're going to be using a 14mm wrench as well as a 17mm socket with our impact ratchet and a flathead. That's pretty much all we're going to need to complete this job. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this rear wheel. I took my battery out just so I could leave it on the charger while I work on the job, but you don't have to take your battery out if you don't want to. All right, we're gonna grab our 14mm wrench as well as our 17mm. Cool. All right, so we're gonna take off this rear peg, which is going to be 2 6mm Allen keys. And just like that, it's off. Now we're gonna take off this other bracket and the kickstand. I'm gonna start off by taking off the kickstand. So this one's a 6mm. All 3 of these are 6mm. All right, so as we're taking this off, I realized that we didn't even have to take this like part off for the other bracket. We could have just disconnected these two and the whole assembly would have just dropped down. So we'll just keep that in mind. I'm putting on a new bar, a new bracket, everything. But if you're keeping the same assembly, then yeah, I would definitely do that. Fuck, skate out, dude. Dude, my forearm is burning, nigga. Like, what the bit me? Bro, that actually swelling up. I got bit by a spider. Look at that shit. That's a big one, and there's 2 of them, you know? Yeah, spider. Imagine that shit poisonous. Recluse got me in the middle of the install. I better turn to Spider-Man, bro. So I'm actually gonna take the lever off really quick because it kind of is in the way. But we didn't even tighten it, we just kind of hand tightened it. At least right there, now the lever is going to be out of our way. All right, now let's go ahead and put this bar on the back side of it. So we're gonna tighten it all the way in. That you're supposed to put these in. One's right here. right? And then we tighten that up. Make sure our master cylinder is working. I'm gonna get that as tight as I can. Cool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the wheel and the caliper just to get it on there. Before you put this peg block on, you are supposed to put the sensor on, but me personally, I'm not gonna run it. It just makes it easier for me to make sure my bike's always running. Like, you know, even if my kickstand's down, it's a little bit more liability, but at the same time, it still has its benefits, so I'm just gonna do it. See how it goes. If I don't like it, then I'll just put it back on. With the other half of the delivery, they did give us a syringe that already comes to bleed the system. So this is the syringe that we're gonna be using to bleed the system. And yeah, now that it's on, we're pretty much ready to just put the kickstand on, tighten everything, and then bleed the system really quick. To take the kickstand off, it is a 13mm socket, and then we're gonna take this bolt out, and then we're going to lift this with the flathead and just kind of lift it over that, and that'll release all the tension so we can take these two off and put it on the new one. This bike was bought off a kid that lived on the beach, and he left it outside. That's why there's so much rust all over the bike, but we're gonna be taking care of all that too. All right, so now we're gonna put this second caliper onto the bracket, put this rear wheel back on. So to throw this second caliper on, we just gotta grab a 12mm and then tighten it onto the bracket right here. Let's go ahead and get that on. Fucking question. Cool. Now we just need to run this line. So how are we gonna run the line? I think I'm literally just gonna run it like that, bro. I'm just gonna throw it in this fucking thing, the adapter with it, and I'm just gonna run it behind it like that. Boom. This as far right as possible, like that. You see how I'm like holding it? So let's give it a good ooga now. We're gonna get that nice and on there, nice and tight. Ooh, it is a tight squeeze, but let's see. I think we can make it happen. It's a tight squeeze, but I think we could throw both the brake lines in this. Boom. So just like that, we were able to get both of the brake lines secured right here. Just like that. So, if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to drop them down in the comments. Like I said earlier, there's not really many videos on these bikes out there, and I personally, this is just what I would do. So if you guys have any better preferences or better recommendations, you know, feel free to drop them down in the comments. So there's the brakes hitting it. Watch out, I'm gonna hit the gas real quick. Oh wait, never mind, I'm stupid. I wanna see if it spins good. The front, the rear brake already works. I just need to, I'm literally just adding a secondary brake. Where's the dot for? I had some. Gotta be over here. Did I leave it at your house? Playing a little hard to get. Didn't you say that's like really bad? Brake fluid? I don't know where that just went. There's like a bunch just splattered everywhere. Okay, we'll be alright. Yeah, but to clip it back on with the fluid, it's already clipped on. It would be way easier for me to just plug the syringe in. That's why they set it up like that. Hold up. You know what I mean? Like if I was to like suck it in and then have to put it with all the fluid back on there like that, with that, it would be like.
Well, the fluid can come out though, so either way.
Or am I just retarded? check this out. Fucking high IQ plays right here, bro. Check this. Oh, shit. Alright guys, so the foot brake is on. I'm not gonna lie, we did have a little bit of trouble bleeding the system, so we ended up figuring it out. What we had to do is we had to take off the actual master cylinder because this is the top and you see how it's facing that way. That needs to be above the entire brake system and it needs to be open for it to bleed properly. So what we had to do is we had to take out the whole master cylinder and then just raise it above the caliper. I just held it in my hand right here. And then we cracked the bleeder valve right here. We cracked it open as we pushed the fluid through to build the pressure. And then once we had a consistent stream through the whole brake line, we shut it, closed the top, and then built the pressure, and it worked perfect. So now we have the entire dual caliper assembly completed with the 2 Ultra Bee brakes, the hand brake, as well as the foot brake. If you guys like that kind of content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.
It's called bike life for a reason. There's no stopping, there's no retiring from it. That's why the word life is on the end. You're gonna do it for life.
And if anybody think bike life bullshit, they not living.
This right here, this is a sport though. This is a sport. This ain't got no bad stuff to it. But everybody here,